Hello there. I just wanted to make a quick update regarding part 2 for the retrospective. First and foremost, if you don't have much time, I'm just going to go ahead and say I don't know when part 2 is going to be released, but the issue is that since Flash is dying pretty soon, I prefer to gather all of my footage and all of my reviews before making part 2. So if that's all you wanted to know, you can click off now. For people who want more details, first and foremost, or rather second, since I already went through um, my first thing. But yeah, second, this is basically just going to be my voice over a static background because I'm not going to take any time editing this video at any capacity. I want to make this real quick. So here are the details. I finished part 1, and first, and the response was absolutely phenomenal. It was beyond anything I could have expected, and the comments were all extremely sweet. I read all of them. I don't always answer them quickly. I prefer to focus on school work and the video as much as possible, but do know that I read every single one of them regularly, and the support is beyond words. It is absolutely great. Thank you so much for the great comments, and it really helps me to push myself to make part 2 and the other ones better. So what the hell happened? Truth is, 2 days after the video was published, I think it was 2 days or 3 days, something like that, I immediately went, okay, there are people who like this, I'm gonna go ahead and make more. And I immediately started working on part 2. But then I remembered, wait, Flash is going end of life at the end of this year, December 31st. And I only have part 1. And that one took me a couple of months to make. So I was like, there's no chance I'm going to be able to finish part 2 in time. So what can I do? I can't use Flashpoint because unless things changed, or unless I just don't know how to use Flashpoint properly, Nitrome's games are just not on that thing. If you don't know, Flashpoint is a piece of software that backed up pretty much every Flash game that matters, so that they can still be played after Flash shuts down at the end of the year. But for some reason, Nitrome's games are not part of that. I don't know why. The second thing is Nitrome promised that they would port all of their games to HTML5, which is a more modern format that doesn't have all of the problems that Flash had. But in March, they announced that. I don't remember when they announced that. I know it was earlier this year, but they said, oh yeah, we're gonna port our games to HTML5. And then I figured, okay, they're probably not going to make it by the end of the year. 140 plus games, it doesn't matter how good you are at programming or how much you're paid. That sounds like way too much work. And I was right, because as of this recording, there are like 7 games that were ported to HTML5. So I was left with a pretty dicey choice to make. I was getting destroyed pretty hard by school. Remote learning is not great, a lot of work. And I pretty much had no choice but to record all of my footage and write all of my reviews in advance, because there's no point in recording my footage if I don't have reviews. I'll just forget about everything, and then the reviews are going to be crap, and I don't want that to happen. So record all of my footage for parts 2 and 3 and 4 by the end of the year, and I had like 2 months barely to make it. And I made it, pretty much. As of this recording, I have like 2 games left to play. All of my script for part 2 is done. All of my script for part 3 is done. And most of my script for part 4 is done. Although that part 4 is a different beast. I'll go into details maybe later, but that's gonna take a while to make. So yeah, I'm done with that. So pretty much the roadmap is I'll go over my script for part 2, make sure that it's not complete garbage. Then I'm going to just make part 2 as planned. I'm sorry if it took a while since part 1, but I do try to get these out as fast as I can while still making sure that it's worth it. I want it to come when it's ready, and really when it's actually ready. And yeah, part 2, I don't know when it's going to come out. And then there's going to be part 3. I expect that one to have the fastest turnaround because the script was written in its entirety, so I'll be able to just give it a second pass, read it again, just make sure it's fine, and then I'll be able to get to work immediately. And then part 4 is going to be a whole different thing, as I said, because I'm planning to make a conclusion that's going to wrap everything up, to answer the questions that I asked in part 1, and that's going to take a really long time. I'm planning to go all out for part 4, but that's in the far future. So that's pretty much it. I just wanted to make a quick update video because I figured, hey, it's been 2 months and you might start wondering, okay, what the hell is going on? I did start talking a little bit about it in the comments, but I figured a video would get to more people. So there you go. You deserve to know where this thing is going. So yeah, that's it. Let's hope that the next time you hear the beautiful sound of my voice, it will be after you click the link for part 2. See you then.